Hello, people. Hope we're doing all right. Little bit better set up this time. Little bit. This time, not walking and talking this time. So I just wanted to have a chat today about antidepressants. Now, it's something that there is a huge stigma attached to. I would suggest even bigger stigma than is attached to depression itself. I know that's probably quite a big statement, but as someone that's had depression, has depression, and is now on antidepressants, I personally think found that it's a bigger conversation to go to a doctor and talk about antidepressants than it is to open up about depression itself. Not that it's easy to open up about depression, of course it's not, but to come out and say I'm struggling, I have depression, or I think I do, is a huge step. To then go, right, what do we do about it, is massive, I think, and to a certain extent life changing. So basically, as I've said in previous videos, I was not rock bottom, but very, very low in November time. Culmination of things, and it put me into depression, anxiety spiral, basically. And I saw something the other day that kind of resonated with me. It was just a quote saying that, and it's not exact, that depression is wanting to turn your brain off. Anxiety is not being able to do that. And when you've got the two together, it messes with you. Because the depression wants you to stay in bed, stay in the dark. The anxiety doesn't allow you to switch off. Your brain's constantly overthinking, processing everything, a million things at once, overthinking everything. So it's a difficult scenario when you're struggling with them both. And if you've been through that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The first port of call with the doctor was lose some weight, which I found is pretty standard when I've gone to the doctors before. A couple of times in my adult life I've been and said I'm not feeling right. Well, you're a big lad, so lose some weight. Great, fine. Lost 3 stone last year, and at the back end of the year hit the lowest point I've ever been at. So you tell me, weight loss, probably good for my physical health and my mental health to a certain extent, but it won't fix it. It's the same as somebody that is struggling for money and that's putting them in depression. Winning the lottery will solve that problem, but it won't fix them. The problems will still be there unless you tackle them head on, which is scary, obviously. So once the standard response from the doctor was kind of exhausted, lose weight, get out, exercise, eat well, all of that stuff. It was a case of I need more than this. I've done CBT before, which cognitive behavioural therapy, which was okay, but it helped to a certain degree, but it wasn't what I needed. I don't think. But I still took the positives from it. I still took the help from it. It was based around self-esteem and this catastrophe thinking all the time, where I would take every issue, every problem, and overthink it to the point where it's the worst possible outcome from that scenario. So I don't know, might be short of money or whatever, and I would go from, just pick up some extra hours to, I'm not going to do it, going to lose my car, going to lose this, blah, blah, blah. So you go from 0 to 100 very quickly, basically. So the CBT, for me, was kind of geared around stopping that process and kind of stopping your thoughts and analysing what is the genuine worst case scenario here, which will work to a certain degree, but there will be a point where the worst case scenario is the man that wants to chuck himself off a bridge. And that's a very real scenario in this country at the moment. Very real. Where I live, in just near Stoke, there is the A50, big main road, dual carriageway. Big A road. There's been numerous people that have jumped off of bridges on there, that have tried to and been stopped by police or passers-by. It's a real problem. And that's why you've got charities like Men Unite here, Mind, Body, Soul, which is a bit further away, probably about 40 minutes from here. I link both of them in all my videos, and this is why I've started Lads Army, which is looking for a similar outcome, a similar goal, and it's just aimed at being a support group for men that are struggling. So I will link all of that on the bottom of the video. We're on Twitter. I've just started Instagram today, and I'm considering a Facebook group, like a private group where we can talk. I'm already part of one called Bottled Up Blokes, so I'm not sure if that's right of me to do that, but we'll see. I might direct everybody to that group, because it's a buzzing group at the moment. So yeah, that's what I've done. I've set that up. So basically, back to what I was saying. The doctor said, right, take these tablets, give me 2 weeks worth, and then see how you go. Came with a massive 3 A4 pieces of paper of warning, side effects. Don't do this, don't do that. And it scares the shit out of you. I didn't take them. It must have been 2 days, 3 days before I actually took one. Because the way society is, you're kind of scared of antidepressants. You hear horror stories, and yes, there are people that have had problems with them, but my experience has been very good, very positive. I might be lucky. I know people have been put on a certain one and it doesn't work, so they go on another one, doesn't work. But for the most part, once people find the right one, they can start to recover a bit. I've been put on sertraline, 50 meg. So that's what I'm on, which has been fine for me. Do you know what the biggest side effect that I looked at and thought, shit, was not being able to have sex properly? And I know that's stupid, but when you're dealing with self-esteem issues and issues of not feeling like a man, like I was dealing with, that's the last thing you need. You know what I mean? So, but happy to report, I had a couple of weeks where it was touch and go, but apart from that area has been absolutely fine. There was the side effects were weight gain, which I've not had any problems with. Nightmares, which I've not had any problems with. So, touch wood, the side effects that were on that leaflet, I haven't experienced any of them apart from struggling in the bedroom for a couple of weeks. But apart from that, nothing. So Again, I can only speak from my own experience. I know of people have spoke to me and said that they've struggled with them. I can't remember the names of the different antidepressants, but a couple of them people have struggled with. But for the most part, people that I spoke to that are on sertraline haven't found it too bad. I feel a lot more kind of level now. Whereas before I was fucking like that all the time. um, so I feel much more level. So I can think a bit clearer about stuff. I can process problems when they come up and deal with them in the best way I can. Um, so that's my experience with antidepressants, and it's November, so what we now nearly about middle of February, so 4 months nearly. So they're in my system. They've kicked in now. I saw a counsellor after about 3 or 4 weeks of being on the tablets, and she was convinced that I saw her once about before I started taking tablets, and I was in a proper bad way, really bad way. And then I saw her a couple of weeks later, and I was doing better. And I was like, well, it's tablets, and she said it's not. So that's not the tablets. That's you. Your tablets wouldn't have kicked in yet. So, which is why they give you 2 weeks to start with, because you have 2 weeks, and then by the end of that, you sort of see how you're doing. Then they give you, I think I'm on 4 weeks at a time now. So there is that element to it where you have to wait for it to work. It's not an instant thing, but not many medicines are. So then you have to look at it. If you were, I say it all the time, but if you were in hospital for a broken arm, you're not going to walk out of there with it fixed. It's got to recover. And it's the same with your mental health. You can put a cast on it, if you like. You can look after it. You can put it in a sling, but it's not fixed. So you need that time to allow it to heal, It's exactly the same with your head. So talking to somebody, the doctors initially was going to the hospital, getting the cast on it, starting the tablets, was getting it in the sling and looking after it. And now, 3-4 months later, I feel like my arm's recovered, if you know what I mean. Never going to be perfect, and it's an ongoing thing. I've heard people say that obviously you stop them dead, it's a bad move and you'll struggle. I don't see any reason to stop at the moment, and I'm not going to be made to feel like I need to stop. I don't ideally want to be on them for my whole life, but if it makes me feel better, doesn't give me any adverse effects or reactions, then I'll keep taking them. There'll be a point where I need to, say I don't need to, but there'll be a point where I might want to kind of come off them for a bit and see how we do, but I don't really want to come off them and come off them, because it's going to mess with my body. So right now, I'm doing good. The tablets are working, but I'm putting in my own work. You need to give yourself credit for that as well, lads, because it's not all the tablets. If you are on them, it's not all down to the tablets. You're getting out there, you're cracking on with work, you're exercising, whatever it is you're doing to try and make yourself feel better. You're doing it, not the tablets. So it's important to recognise that the tablets just help you along the way a little bit and keep your I don't know if I said this in the previous one, like your spirit level. So that's how I feel it works. Like the spirit level, you drop a spirit level, the bubble goes all over the place. You put it on a flat surface, the bubble stays still. That's what I feel like the tablets do. Before the tablets, I was a level bouncing all over the place. Now I feel like I'm a level and my bubble's in the middle. I keep coming up with these analogies. pretty impressed with that one. So that's it for today. Really, I just wanted to have a chat and just make people realise that it's okay to be on them, and they're not as horrific as they might sound online or whatever. Dr. Google, people have problems with them, but for the most part, for me anyway, it's been fine. I'll link everything in the comments. Drop me a comment if you're on them, or follow us on the socials if you want to drop me a private message and have a chat about anything else, and antidepressants, anxiety, depression, anything. We're there 24/7. So thanks, guys.